In a small West African village, a mother made a sacrificial choice. She fed the entire community, sharing her limited resources with everyone around her. Mama Ireti, known for her generous spirit, believed that a full stomach in another's home brought blessings back to her own. Every morning, the aroma of roasted yams and simmering stew from her hut called the hungry and weary. She gave with an open heart, never once counting what she had left. But not everyone understood her kindness, not even her only daughter, Abeni. The young girl often watched in frustration as strangers filled their bowls before her. One evening, as the sun sank low and hunger tugged at her belly, she could no longer hold back. "Mama," Abeni cried, her voice trembling. "Why must we always share with people who do not help us? They come empty-handed, and you still give them our food. What will be left for us?" Mama Ireti paused, her hands dusted with flour, her face calm but firm. "My child," she said softly, "the one who gives never runs out. The soil does not choose which seed to feed. It welcomes all, and in return, it bears fruit for everyone." But Abeni's young heart was clouded with anger. She saw hunger, not wisdom. She saw giving as a weakness. When another knock came at the door, an elderly man asking for food, Abeni lost her patience. "Go away," she shouted, blocking the doorway. "We have nothing left for beggars." Mama Ireti's heart ached at her daughter's words. Slowly, she placed a gentle hand on Abeni's shoulder. "If your heart has no space for others, my daughter, then it cannot grow. Sometimes, to learn, we must walk our own path." That night, after another heated argument, Abeni's pride drove her away from home. She ran through the darkening paths, tears blurring her vision, carrying nothing but anger and hurt. Behind her, Mama Ireti watched silently, whispering a prayer to the winds. "Let the world teach her what I could not." As the moon rose high above the baobab trees, the forest hummed with unseen life. Crickets sang, and the wind carried stories of those who once left home seeking truth. Alone, Abeni's footsteps echoed through the silence, the beginning of a journey that would test her spirit and reveal the meaning of her mother's love. What this child didn't realize was the profound lesson unfolding before her. The mother's actions weren't just acts of kindness. They were lessons in gratitude and resilience. While her daughter saw scarcity, Mama Ireti saw abundance in giving. Days turned into nights, and Abeni's path grew harsher. She wandered hungry, cold, and frightened. The same villagers her mother once helped now looked at her with pity. Some turned away, others offered little. It was then she met Tunde, a quiet stranger by the riverside, washing his hands after fishing. Seeing her trembling and weak, he called out, "Little one, you look lost. Come, sit by the fire." Abeni hesitated, pride still burning in her chest. "I need no one's help," she murmured, but her stomach betrayed her with a growl. Tunde chuckled softly. "Even the strongest tree bends to the wind, my dear. Sit." He shared a piece of roasted fish with her and spoke no more. That night, under the vast African sky, Abeni watched the stars shimmer like her mother's eyes. Over the following days, Tunde taught her small lessons of survival: how to gather fruits, how to find drinkable water, how to make a small fire from dry grass. But more than skills, he taught her the quiet strength of gratitude. "Do you see that river?" he said one morning. "It gives and never complains. It carries dirt, fish, and even our waste, yet it stays pure because it keeps flowing. Gratitude is like that. It keeps your heart clean, no matter what you carry." Abeni listened, slowly beginning to see her mother's teachings in every lesson of nature. The forest, once frightening, now felt alive. Each whisper of the wind carried her mother's voice, reminding her that kindness was never weakness. Still, guilt sat heavy in her heart. She remembered the look in Mama Ireti's eyes when she left. A deep longing grew, a desire to understand, to return, to make things right. But for now, her journey with Tunde would continue, shaping her spirit for what lay ahead. As the village thrived, the child wandered, feeling lost. She witnessed the joy and unity her mother created. When she passed through nearby towns, people spoke of Mama Ireti, the woman whose kindness never ran dry. "She feeds everyone," one old woman told Abeni without recognizing her. "Because of her, no child sleeps hungry." Abeni's heart tightened. She had once called that woman foolish. Now she saw how her mother's giving had nourished not just bodies, but spirits. With Tunde's guidance, Abeni learned the power of work. Together they cleared a small patch of land, planting cassava and maize. Each sunrise her hands grew stronger. Her skin darkened under the sun. Her spirit steadied. She began to understand that resilience wasn't about fighting the storm, it was about learning to dance in the rain. When her crops first sprouted, Tunde smiled. "Now you see," he said. "The earth rewards those who serve with patience." Abeni looked at the green shoots swaying in the wind and whispered, "Just like Mama." That night, as she rested by the fire, she felt the wind brush her cheeks, gentle and familiar. It was as if the forest itself was whispering, "Gratitude is the bridge that brings you home." Her heart softened. She realized that the love she once rejected was the very thing that had protected her all along. The same lessons her mother lived, by generosity, humility, and faith, were now growing inside her. Like the crops in her field, the forest had become her teacher, the stream her mirror. The wind is her guide. Abeni was no longer the angry child who left home, she was becoming a reflection of her mother's grace. Eventually, the child returned, humbled and wiser. She embraced her mother, realizing that love and sacrifice forged the strongest bonds. When Abeni reached the village, she found her mother by the same fire where many hungry souls once Saturday. For a moment, she stood frozen, afraid her mother would turn her away. But Mama Ireti looked up, eyes filled with tears and a smile that could melt the hardest heart. She opened her arms wide and whispered, "Welcome home, my child." Abeni fell to her knees, sobbing. "Mama, I was blind. I didn't understand." Mama Ireti lifted her gently. "Now you do. Sometimes the world must teach what a mother's words cannot." From that day, Abeni joined her mother in feeding the poor, sharing her harvest with joy. The villagers began to say, "Now there are two hearts beating as one." Their bond, once tested, became unbreakable like the roots of a great Iroko tree after a storm. This story reminds us that gratitude transforms our perspective, and resilience helps us overcome our challenges. Lesson 1. True wealth is not what we keep, but what we give. Mama Ireti's generosity turns scarcity into abundance. Lesson 2. Resilience is built through hardship. Abeni's struggle taught her that survival requires courage and humility. Lesson 3. Gratitude opens our hearts to wisdom. When Abeni learned to be thankful, even for her pain, her path became clear. Lesson 4. Love requires sacrifice. Mama Ireti's love was tough, but it shaped a daughter of strength and compassion. Lesson 5. Every rejection hides a lesson. Abeni's exile became her awakening proof that pain can be the root of transformation. Through this tale, we are reminded that life's hardest moments often plant the deepest seeds of wisdom. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel for more uplifting African folktales and motivational stories. Remember, every act of kindness plants a seed that will one day return to feed you. Let's discuss down in the comments section. What part of Abeni's story touched your heart the most? What did you learn from her journey? Share your thoughts below. Your comment might inspire someone else. Share. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to spread hope and courage across Africa.